This is an opportunity for creativity. And whether it be in a mastermind situation, a coach-mentor situation, a friend situation, a spouse situation, or part of your team, this is an opportunity for you to sit down and say, okay, let's talk. I have some ideas, but I need your input. I need your ideas. I need your thoughts. I need you to help me work through this process.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Just got out of a great meeting. I want to share with you an idea that you might want to start implementing in your appraisal office. And the idea is brainstorming meetings. I know it doesn't sound like a crazy out there concept. It's probably something that you do on a regular basis and probably just don't have a name for it. But I want to talk to you about the concept of having these on a regular basis, actually scheduling time to improve your business and work toward the vision that you have for you and your appraisal business. I want to pause here, of course, and remind you about a way that, speaking of visions of your appraisal business, this is the way of the future. This is a system that is created by appraisers for appraisers to manage everything that goes on in their appraisal office. I've been playing with some features just this morning, folks. Absolutely amazing. ANow is the system. It's Appraisers Now, ANOW.com/coach, ANow.com/coach. All right, folks, I just got out of a great meeting with my assistant, Lee, and it was a brainstorming meeting, and guess what? We planned it that way. It didn't just become that. It wasn't a staff meeting that we turned into a brainstorming meeting. It was scheduled as a brainstorming meeting. What is a brainstorming meeting? Well, it's exactly what you would assume it is. It's the opportunity for you to come together with those you work with, whether they be contractors, employees, VAs, whatever. And really, it doesn't even have to be people that you pay, right? This can be your spouse. This can be your mentor. It can be your coach. It can be a mastermind group. It can be so many people, friends. I mean, have lunch with a friend and brainstorm. I'll tell you, years ago, I got involved in mastermind groups, and this is upwards of a decade ago at this point. I have said this before on air. I will say it again. That is the single best tool that I have used in my business to perpetuate, to move forward, to propel is a better word, starts with a P, right? To propel my business forward is a mastermind group. And why? Because a mastermind group is all about brainstorming. It's all about coming together with an inkling of an idea and walking away with an absolutely amazing, transformational plan. That's really what a brainstorming meeting is all about. I schedule these meetings on a regular basis. I've got a mentor. I schedule on a regular basis, at least monthly, and sometimes more than that, time to sit with him. And he knows my business very well. He and I have been friends for years. And I have these brainstorming meetings. These are meetings where I sit down that, yes, I might have an item or two on my mind. Yes, I might have some bullet points on a piece of paper. But folks, as opposed to the mini-sode that I did recently on staff meetings, this is not an agenda-driven meeting by design. It can't be. If it is, it's not a brainstorming meeting. A brainstorming meeting has to be very open. A brainstorming meeting has to be very unscheduled, not scheduled. You got to schedule the time, right? But it's got to be unstructured. That's the better word for it. It's got to be very unstructured, non-agenda driven. This is an opportunity to discuss. This is an opportunity to talk. Yes, you might have an idea or two of what you want to talk about, but the details of which are not formulated, or maybe they are, but there's a key here. And the key is you've got to be willing to step back and be wrong. You've got to be able to step back and have new ideas flow to you. In other words, this is not a meeting where you sit down as the big bad boss and sit down and say, okay, guys, here's what we're doing. Rah, rah, ree, kick him in the knee. Let's go. That's not what this is all about. That might be a staff meeting that you might have, but that is not what this is all about. This is something much, much different. This is an opportunity for creativity. And whether it be in a mastermind situation, a coach mentor situation, a friend situation, a spouse situation, or part of your team, this is an opportunity for you to sit down and say, okay, let's talk. I have some ideas, but I need your input. I need your ideas. I need your thoughts. I need you to help me work through this process. And I'll tell you, it will make all the difference in the world to you and your business, because this is where the magic happens. This is where your ideas become visions, become realities eventually as you work down the road based on what you brainstorm together. When we get back from the break, I want to give you 4 very, very important keys to brainstorm. That's why I'm going to give you 3, because I already gave you 1. The first one is no agenda. Okay. Don't come with an agenda. You might have a couple of bullet points, but not a specific agenda to get through. Okay. That's number 1. I want to give you 3 more keys to making sure that your brainstorming meetings, and I'm going to call them meetings, right? Brainstorming meetings are effective, that you can walk away from that saying, wow, that was amazing. That was incredible. We got something done there. I want to pause here first and remind you that getting something done in your appraisal business is all about managing what's going on in your appraisal business, right? It's all about understanding what's coming at you, what is due, what part of the process this is in. It's all about managing from the top, and ANow is designed for appraisers to do that very thing. Not just keep track, folks, of every little aspect of every assignment that you're given, but also the big picture. I've been playing with some of the user preferences today, and it is mind-blowing what this system can do for your business. Folks, there is no competition out there when it comes to managing your business. If you want to manage and manage right, and you want to have more time to be a boss and not have to worry about the numbers, ANow is the system for you. It is an investment in your business. It's anow.com/coach. One more time, anow.com/coach. Welcome back to the program. I just had an incredible meeting with Lee, my assistant. This is on the coaching side of things. So you all know I run 2 businesses. I've got the appraisal office, and then I've got the coaching business, the mentoring business. And this was a meeting about coaching and mentoring. And I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. Okay. This is not, this is not in stone yet. Okay. By the time this comes out, it will be in stone. I've been asked so often about doing another workshop, like the Go Create Some Value workshop. Well, folks, I can tell you unofficially, keep it between you and I, that stay tuned, because we've got something coming your way that's super exciting. It's going to be different than the Go Create Some Value workshop, but it is going to be so fun and so exciting and will absolutely transform your business. I can't wait. But that's what we were talking about today. Now, we talked about a lot of different things. I came to the meeting today with about 5 or 6 bullet pointed ideas that I wanted to discuss with Lee. But guess what? Here's the key. I did not come with an agenda. I did not come with an end in mind. I came with some ideas, and the whole purpose of the meeting, that's the reason for brainstorming meetings, was to step back and say, okay, let's talk. Let's work through this together. Let's come up with some ideas. Let's be creative. That's the difference between a staff meeting, which your goal in a staff meeting is more agenda driven. It's more schedule driven. It's more outcome driven. It's more about efficiencies, right? Put that aside when it comes to brainstorming meetings. Brainstorming meetings are all about, the key word here is creativity, right? It's all about developing ideas into realities because you're willing to do a couple of things. First of all, number 1, okay, no agenda. That's key number 1, right? Number 2, there are no stupid comments. Okay. This has to be a safe place. And I know those are buzzwords, right? There's no judgment here. There's no such thing as a stupid question, right? But here's the thing. If you do not feel safe in these meetings, I guarantee they're not going to be as effective as if you had a safe space to talk in. The reason these meetings work is the same reason that my mastermind meetings work so well. In the Dream Team Mastermind, number one, you don't have your competition there. Okay. Number two, it is completely, strictly confidential. Everything you say in that meeting is strictly confidential. So you can share everything you want, anything you want about your business, even if it's a little bit shady, right? You are free to share whatever you want in that meeting, and nobody's going to judge you, and nobody's going to be down on you, and nobody's going to talk down to you, and nobody's going to share that information outside the walls of that conference room. That's why the mastermind works so well, and that's the same reason brainstorming meetings work so well also. No stupid comments, no judgment, no holdbacks. Okay? You can't not say something because it's not a fully developed idea. That's not the purpose. You're not to come to the meeting and say, guess what? Okay, great. I hear what you're saying. Here's my idea from start to finish. Well, it start at A, we end at Z, and there's the thing. That's not how they work. That's not how a mastermind works. That's not how these brainstorming meetings work. This is all about you saying, what about this idea? And someone else saying, that's partially good. I can see where you're coming from, but what if we tweaked it a little bit and did this instead? Okay, that's a good idea, but what if I tweaked it one more time and we did this? That's how these ideas get developed in a brainstorming meeting. You cannot hold back. You throw stuff against the wall and you see what sticks. And what slides down the wall, you might scoop up and try again. So step number one, no agenda. Step number two, there are no stupid comments. Step number three, you got to be willing to be wrong. Okay. When I say be wrong, I mean in a devil's advocate type of a circumstance. In other words, these meetings are all about, in fact, I said this probably several times to Lee today. We had a 3-hour brainstorming meeting, right? And it was fabulous. And we came away with some great ideas. But on several occasions, I said, okay, Lee, I hear what you're saying. Let me be the devil's advocate for just a second. And she did the same for me. That's what it's all about. It's being willing to step back and say, okay, I like your idea, but have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? It's not to be pessimistic. It's not to be down on any idea. It's all about looking at every idea from every aspect. And as you do so, you come to a better conclusion. Step number one, no agenda. Step number two, no stupid comments. Step number three, be willing to be wrong. Step number four, you've got to write down action items. I came away with 4 pages of notes after a 3-hour meeting. Now they're small pages, okay, and they're big letter, big writing, okay, but I came away with page after page after page of things that came to mind, to-do lists, ideas that I want to more fully develop outside the meeting. Okay, you've got to walk away with action items. A meeting is no good at all. It's a waste of time if you sit down and nobody writes down anything. Why? Because nothing gets done. Talking's fun. Talking's great. It's enjoyable. But if you don't get anything done, absolutely worthless. Listeners, are you on a regular basis scheduling time to brainstorm? I guarantee your business is not as good as it could be if you did so. Are you scheduling on a regular basis time to simply talk through ideas? And it may be no more than say, okay, folks, we're all here. Let's talk. Talk about what? Whatever you want to talk about. Whatever's on your mind, let's talk. Now, there might be some guidelines. I mean, I don't really want to talk about your relationship with your wife. I mean, we're talking business here, but what are your ideas? What are your marketing ideas? What's on your mind? Now, the first one might be a little bit bumpy. They may not know what to expect. They may not feel safe. They may think this is another staff meeting, right? You've got to establish that, no, this is different than what you're used to. This is all about creativity. This is all about development. I don't know this for a fact, but I've heard rumor that both Yahoo, Google, and I think Apple, I said both, but there's 3 there. I think all 3 of those companies pay their employees for what they call flex time or downtime. They are paid to create. They are paid to spend time just thinking about ideas. Well, guess what? If it works for those great companies, it can work for your company as well. And brainstorming meetings are a way that you can be creative. And trust me, folks, it is the creativity that will cause you to be more successful than your competition. That's what's going to push you forward. That's what's going to make you more successful than those other appraisers in your area. We've talked a little bit today about the Dream Team meetings, the masterminds that I have across the nation. There are 6 of them currently. 1 in DC, 1 in Chicago, 1 in Salt Lake, 2 in Las Vegas, and 1 in Dallas. There are open seats in a handful of those. Small handful, 2 or 3. We would love to have you at that table. If you really want to take your business to the next level, beyond what a workshop can do for you, but really what a mentor and a group of people who are solely concerned about your success around a table are willing to give you, you're going to want to be a part of this. Reach out to me, the coach, at theappraisercoach.com, and we will tell you what's available. We would love to have you be a part.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.